Hi, welcome to Steve Chats Wrestling, hashtag SCW The Wrestling Channel here on YouTube.com. Thank you for choosing the channel and choosing the video. Thank you for taking that time. Please subscribe right now, leave any comments in the comments below, and like and share the video as well. Going to give a quick Raw recap for you. I thought Raw was okay this week, but I kind of had this within the 3 hours. It's just not working for me. With the roster that's there, there's not enough star power for me to really carry the 3 hours, where SmackDown perhaps doesn't have the star power either, but they seem to make a more compact show in the 2 hours. I think Raw would really benefit from actually being 2 hours long, or certainly no more than 2.5 hours. I feel that last half an hour, certainly it's really 45 minutes, because it always goes on for 3 hours and a quarter, Raw. So for me, I'm kind of feeling that Raw perhaps really should lose 45 minutes, but let me know your feelings on that in the comments below. For me, I'm going to start not necessarily in chronological order, but I'm going to go through just points of the show, that what I see, and hope that you're going to agree with the points that I give as well. I'm going to say quickly, if you haven't got nothing great to say, don't say it. Enzo and Kaz this week, nothing really needs to say on the mic, and it came across a bit weird, so I just really wouldn't bother that. Same with the New Day as well. I'm really starting to find the New Day quite tiresome with their skits every week, because they're not always entertaining. Now, I'm sure that it's not always devoted to the audience of my sort of generation, perhaps more devoted towards children, but at the same time, it doesn't work with everybody, and sometimes it really causes confusion in the crowd, and I really felt that as well with Gallows and Anderson the previous week with the Old Day. Now, it's something that perhaps in the mind it seemed like a really clever idea, but it just really didn't come across well across over the microphone, and maybe that didn't really work even worse. It was actually worse when the New Day came out and then saying actually that they couldn't touch the Old Day, and then they ended up beating them up anyway. But that was last week. We're keeping it on this week's Raw, and although there was a bit of a weakness, and there was 2+ points with the New Day this week, I particularly like Corey Graves actually saying that fans would do anything for the New Day. If the New Day had toilet paper, that they probably would buy it. I mean, I'm kind of liking that on commentary. Corey never lets you down, does he? I mean, can you imagine New Day toilet roll? It really makes sure that it cleans your booty. I mean, it would be quite cool, wouldn't it? Let's be fair. But anyway, Gallows and Anderson taking on in the SummerSlam rematch Kofi and Xavier Woods, and we see actually Gallows and Anderson picking up the victory, looking strong, going back to basics as they were announced on commentary. I think that that's a benefit going forward, and certainly puts them in good stead again now going into Clash of Champions, because it wasn't cool them kids doing comedy skits. It's not their character. They should do what they do best, and that is actually fight in the ring and actually just beat people up. We see as well the start of Raw, which for me is one of the real benefits at the moment, is the women's division. Some real fans getting behind it at the moment of who would be the #1 contender for Charlotte. We see that Sasha Banks making her claim, we see Bayley making her claim, and we see Dana Brooke, who seems to be messing up, and Charlotte saying that she's happily get rid of her. And we see that Dana Brooke actually slaps Charlotte as well. Really shows some thin ice on there. Could they break up in the future? They seem to be together just now, although it's a bit rocky. But we see a triple threat match made for the #1 contender, which was Bayley versus Sasha versus Dana. We see Sasha pick up the victory with a roll up on Bayley. Oh, she'd hit the Bayley on Dana Brooke. Looked like she was going to get the win, but Sasha knocking her over to get the roll up for the pinfall. So Sasha will be facing Charlotte at Clash of Champions for the Women's Championship. We see a lot of heated stuff backstage as well, with Mick Foley suggesting to Seth Rollins not to get involved in the Kevin Owens Roman Reigns main event, or there would be consequences. As well as that, we see then when the main event took place, Seth Rollins of course couldn't help himself, Mick Foley, at the time, because Seth Rollins had attacked Kevin Owens. Roman Reigns' opportunity had gone away from him to be into a triple threat match at Clash of Champions. We see the match is restarted, and we see that Mick Foley says he's going to have a chat with Seth Rollins backstage. Sadly, we don't find out what it's about, what the consequences are. Hopefully something will be released on WWE.com during the week. I haven't seen anything at the moment anyway, but going back to the match itself with Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns, was an okay match. It wasn't too bad on Raw. It finished with Rusev actually making a surprise return to actually cost Roman Reigns the match, which is good to see Kevin Owens pick up the victory against Roman Reigns at the end of Raw. I mean, it wasn't clean, so it doesn't really put Kevin Owens over as the strongest champion at the moment, but hopefully Kevin Owens is going to get a good run going forward, and I'd like to see him win against Seth at Clash of Champions, if I'm brutally honest. I'd like to see Triple H cost Seth Rollins to put the wheels in motion for their match, and also then maybe just to put the feud one more time, maybe in a Hell in a Cell match when they come around to the following pay-per-view for Owens and Rollins, but time will tell on that. Another part of Raw that I quite liked was Sami Zayn and Chris Jericho on the highlight reel. I think it's kind of cool that they're having Kevin Owens kind of used as the feud, really, the new best friend against the old best friend, and the match was set up for Clash of Champions between the two afterwards, after Chris Jericho hit Sami Zayn with a mobile phone after saying that he'd got a message from Kevin Owens. Did he want to know about it? And then eventually hit the code breaker as well. It's a very entertaining segment. I must admit, if you haven't seen it, you must check it out for yourself. It's a really good entertaining segment from Raw this week. We see Jack Swagger leave Raw as well. He's gone onto the SmackDown brand, losing to Jinder Mahal. So good to see he's leaving strong on Raw, or not strong, to then go and join the SmackDown roster. I'm not so sure that they needed to do that, really, if I'm being brutally honest. But Raw on the whole, I mean, it was okay. There were some of my favourite moments, and given a couple of my more negative moments as well. Of course, Enzo Amore going back to Enzo and Kaz. Enzo losing to Epico of the Shining Stars. I did like what they were trying to do with the timeshares, the Shining Stars, because I know it's kind of a failing gimmick, but at least that moment seemed slightly amusing. One more thing I'll talk about before I leave you was Nia Jax and Alicia Fox, and this match was kind of cool as well. We did see a kind of a non-finish here with what you normally see them oh my god moments where people get speared through the barricade. Nia Jax doing that to Alicia Fox. Nice to see that happen in the women's division, and fans really seem to get into that when that happens. So I think that was quite a strong point on Raw. So I'm giving you most of the highlights, really, the high points, shall we say, but more of the negatives. Cesaro and Sheamus, the best of 7 season, it kind of bored me, really. We know that Cesaro is going to get it back to 3-3 before we get the finale, so just hurry up and do it on a live event so we haven't got to watch it on another Raw. These guys have fought too many times for my liking at the moment. The best of 7 series really hasn't lit up for my liking. Bo Dallas having another squash match as well. Fair play to him. They're trying to do something with him. It'd be interesting to see what happens with that. But that's the Raw recap for you anyway. I thought it was okay, but if you've checked out my SmackDown review already, you'll see that I think SmackDown currently really's got it going on. Raw is passable, it's watchable, but it's not got anything too exciting for me at the moment. I think that we're having to be patient and building for when Clash of Champions comes around. But the card looks like it's going to be set now anyway. It looks like we've got 5 matches there with Owens versus Rollins for the Universal Championship. We've got the New Day versus Gallows and Anderson for the Tag Team Championship from the Raw side. We've got Sasha Banks challenging Charlotte for her Raw's Women's Championship. It looks like we're going to get Roman Reigns and Rusev for the United States Championship, and of course we already have now set Sami Zayn versus Chris Jericho, which should be an awesome match. So let me know your feelings in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel. You've been watching Steve Chats Wrestling, #SCW the Wrestling Channel, here on YouTube.com. Thank you for watching.